Hello everyone, it's Olga Heldman here, and today I will show you how I created this layout with the Magnifique September kit. I'm starting with making the first layer of my composition. It will be papers and paper scraps. Just put it together around the photo. Is the first layer, and until I will start to adding embellishment, I never know how much of this first layer will be visible. When I already planned how I will put papers, I'm making some texture with mask and texture paste. I'm trying to add it randomly to not have this sharp edges, just this blur, and I'm adding a little bit of texture for this background paper. Now I'm just adding some paper pieces. I'm gluing them on glue or gel medium. It depends what I have closer in this moment. I really like dimension in my work, so I'm using lots of foam squares under my photo and under this bigger piece of paper that will be under my photo. All smaller elements I will add later between the paper layers, so I have to have at least 2 squares high to be able to put elements between the layers. And here, like always, I decided to add something under my composition, so that's why I'm using foam squares. I can remove it and glue it later on glue. I'm using this Tim Holtz stain, and I'm trying to squeeze it while it touches the surface. That will give me big splashes. They are quite too dark for me, so I'm removing part of color with baby wipe. I'm adding a little bit to the lace and around the composition with brush, and starting to thinking where to put all elements I would like to use. Those frames are really nice to color. They take color very nice, and you can use your heat gun to make it a little darker to burn the colors. And here I'm mixing distress stain and dilution spray on this frame. This dilution spray is really dark, and I go crazy with it. The final look was too dark for me, and I had to light it somehow. But it's really nice color. It's really deep brown, and it works perfectly with water. To blur colors, I'm using water. I'm adding with brush on wet surface and adding more water to get a better gradient around the color. In this moment I like it, and I dry it with the heat gun, and I thought that these dark areas would be really awesome. But when I add some elements, you will see that they weren't visible enough, so I had to use my mask again. Now I can start to add some elements. I glued this frame on piece of paper and put one of epoxy stickers inside and put it together with this flower really close to my photo. I like to focus all elements around the photo, and this way the photo is exposed and really good compound inside. Now I'm trying to find a good place for the flowers from chipboard. I'm adding some colors and heating them with heat gun at once to make them lighter, because if the color will stay on the chipboard too long, chipboard will absorb all the color and it will be really dark, and if you use the heat gun and work quite quick, the colors will be lighter. Now time for my pan pastel. I wanted to add a violet shadow around my composition because I have those violet flowers on the paper, and I wanted to highlight it somehow, but I had too much of product on my sponge, so it's better to clean on some separate piece of paper. And I'm going just around all the elements to have this violet shadow, magenta shadow. When I'm done with all colors, I decided it's way too dark. So the good thing is that I have a lot of those Casual Crafts elements. They are also color matched, and I can cover those darkest parts with papers. Right now I think that this background was quite good, but I trying to avoid the dark colors, and I get scared and just cover it too quickly, because my laces are gone in this whole mess and colors. I decided to add more of them almost exactly in the same places. I'm putting lots of those Casual Crafts elements. They are really awesome. They're quite thick, so you can glue them. Part of them I put it on 3D foam squares to get more dimension, to have many levels on my work. I'm always working like this. I'm adding and taking off some elements until I think that it look good. Here I added second fabric flower and those little violets flower. Before I use, I smash it a little bit in my hands to make them more, to give them more natural look. Even when I covered the parts of composition with those paper elements, it was still too dark for me, so I went through the mask again with white texture paint to light it a little bit and get some extra texture. Right now it's easier because I have all composition and I can see how the pattern look around it. I'm adding a little bit of violet around the flower because I thought that it will better expose it, but it still was too dark, so I'm using white ink to make some white spots around to light everything a little bit. If you don't have white ink, you can use white acrylic paint or any white opaque product. You just have to add water to make it fluid, so you will be able to splash with it from the brush or stick or whatever you like. This flower was still too dark, so I add a little bit of gesso with baby wipe, and I'm not adding to whole surface, I'm just tapping to just light it, but still have those colors I added to the chipboard. I'm adding Maya wrote butterflies, and I glued them on the butterflies. I cut it from paper. This way they look really nice and dimension. I like to squeeze a little bit of gel medium on separate piece of paper, like here I did, because I can drill my elements inside it, and this way I get more product, and it's just the best way to add it for me. At the end, I'm adding dark splashes from Delusion spray. I just drill the applicator tip inside the bottle and poke it to make some splashes. I know I told you that it was too dark for me, but right now it was too light, so I'm always working like this. And now it's finished. You can look at the close-ups made on the daylight, so it gives you the colors much more better than in the movie. Thank you for your attention, and thanks for watching, and please visit Magnifique's site and my blog for more inspirations from the kit.